May I come in?
Yes, come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please be seated.
Thank
Are you
you, sir.
fully vaccinated?
Yes, sir. I'm vaccinated.
Okay. No symptoms of COVID, I suppose?
No, sir. I have.
You may remove your mask.
Thank you, sir.
Upma,
Yes, sir.
please introduce yourself to the board.
Okay, sir. So, my name is Upma Jain. I am from Morena, Madhya Pradesh. I have done my graduation in BSc Maths. I have completed my graduation in 2019. After that, I prepared for UPSC. I have given my first attempt in UPSC 2022 itself, and so this is my second attempt and first interview, sir.
So, what has made you to decide to write for the UPSC?
Sir, I was having in back of my mind that after graduation only I will move for UPSC.
What are the importance of UPSC according to you? I mean, the civil services according to you?
Yes, sir. So the idea of the state is the development of the pupil or a welfare state. So, sir, the UPSC recruits the civil servant, which are the ground implementators of the government policies. So the connection between the political heads or bringing their policies or making their policies or schemes a reality is the role of civil servant, I believe, sir.
Okay, you are a student of Hindi literature, Upma.
Yes, sir.
What is the use of Hindi literature in the realm of governance?
Yes, sir. Sir, Hindi literature, first of all, Hindi literature or any literature, sir, as it is said that साहित्य is the साहित्य जो है समाज का दर्पण होता है. So in that way, sir, whatever the culture of the society is or whatever the temperaments of the people, I'm working over any district or any city, sir, I will get to know that what are their beliefs and how their culture is. So first of all, knowing them. And secondly, sir, Hindi literature teaches us some of the core values like compassion, empathy, conviction. These I can use in administration, sir. And also, we can make some slogans or some jingles to aware the masses and some nukkad nataks for creating the solution of any social evil, sir, and to aware the masses at large. For example, sir, we created this jingle that स्वच्छ भारत का इरादा कर लिया हमने, देश से अपने वादा कर लिया हमने for this स्वच्छ भारत mission, sir. These all.
Okay. Do you think, Upma, that rural India has to progress for the country to progress?
Yes, sir. I believe India as a country comprises of more than 70% of its population as rural population only, sir. So by large, India is rural India only, sir. So I believe the development of rural India is a must and prerequisite to develop India as a whole.
So, on what are the problems faced by the rural India, and what could be the solution to those problems according to you?
Sir, there are multiple problems of rural India. Sir, there are sectors like agriculture sector. We are having some problems of low productivity, sometimes not so well irrigation purposes. Also, sir, patriarchy, low sex ratio, literacy, challenges of public health. Sir. The public health is one of the major problem. I would like to highlight that in rural areas, especially, some of the basic facilities like, sir, ultrasound or some of these facilities are not available, and one have to move to towns for these facilities, and also employment. These are the basic problem I can think as of now. And sir, for solving these problems, we can willfully implement the government schemes, and sir, at the same time, including the public participation at large and mitigating corruption or leakages in any government scheme can be the solution.
How will you generate additional employment opportunities in the sector? By promoting investment in the rural area?
Sir,
additional employment opportunities.
Yes, sir. Sir, in rural India, there are the sector is largely dominated by the agriculture sector. So, sir, linking with them to food processing industries, sir, this can be one solution. And the small cottage industries, sir. Like we are having various handicrafts and these kind of industries, they can be promoted, the cottage industries, sir. And also regionally regionally enriched resources, like if any particular district or any particular place is having some special regional production, then that can be developed, like as the idea is like, sir, the button town in China, it is developed for the production of button only, and it's specialized that it is now linked to global value chains.
Okay, thank you.
These kind of things.
Upma,
Yes, sir.
which welfare scheme of the central government you like the most?
So there are many schemes. If I have to choose one, I believe Ayushman Bharat Mission is one of the very good scheme of central government.
Give us the details of Ayushman Bharat.
Okay, sir. So the Ayushman Bharat Mission is having the idea of universal health coverage for the country. It gives, sir, sir, I may be not so up to the mark with the data. Can I guess, sir, please? Okay, sir. So it is covering around 5 crore household family, as far as I remember, sir, and they are including the they are empaneling the private hospitals as well. So these kind of so
You mentioned that it covers 500 household families. What's the difference between a household and a family?
sir, sir, I believe household is an economic term which is taken from the perspective of consumption, that there are basic 3 units. One is business, other is government, and one being household. So this is the basic difference between household and family, and I believe, if I'm right, sir, then household comprises of five member or some this kind of thing, I believe.
Okay.
I may be wrong.
In the latest National Family Health Survey, what data of sex ratio has emerged?
Sir, it is around, it has crossed the 1000, it is 1022 something, probably.
That's correct. So why sex ratio is improved in last 7-8 years?
Sir, there are continuous effort by the government, be it central government or the state government, to stop female feticide, to stop the social evils against the women, sir, like dowry, domestic violence, these kind of things, which in general stops the female, or to have their opportunities, sir. And also there are health improvement scheme of the government for the betterment of women, or, sir, reduction in reduction in mother mortality rates, sir. So these are the basic things I can.
You come from Madhya Pradesh, and in Madhya Pradesh agriculture is growing very fast.
Yes, sir.
Faster than in many other states. So what a strategy the government is following in Madhya Pradesh, that agriculture has been growing fast for a long period now?
Yes, sir. So government definitely having some certain more emphasis on the agriculture sector itself. Sir, there are some of the very good schemes of the government I would like to mention. Firstly, sir, there is price, sir, it is called as Bhavantar Bhugtan Yojana, which gives the farmers a difference in price if they sell their market, or if they sell their product.
Okay, I got it. Other scheme, other measures?
So there are, sir, I cannot think of the name of scheme as of now, but I can tell you the details of the details of the.
Is there any scheme to encourage crop diversification?
Sorry, sir, I have to once read about it. I'm not able to.
Why the Madhya Pradesh government is shy of advertising the Madhya Pradesh model of development?
I do not believe, or I have not come across this idea that if Madhya Pradesh government is not taking a step ahead to.
Do you think that Madhya Pradesh is following a particular model which should be imitated by other states?
So I believe that the reasons behind the agriculture itself is that Madhya Pradesh government is working on every front of the farmer, like be it insurance, or be it the irrigation facilities, sir, or development of warehouses. So I think this integrated model is the.
But some farmers in Ratlam district were upset about some measures of the state government. Why they were upset?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm unaware of this incident.
Okay.
I have to read.
Okay, Upma, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Upma. I can see that you have taken Hindi literature as your optional paper.
Yes, sir.
and also that you like reading Jain literature.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me, apart from the Paumcharyu of Swambhu, what are the other Jain literature texts which we study in Hindi literature?
Sir, there are some text like sir Hemchandra's Shabdanushasan, sir Chandan Bala Ras. Sir, as of now, I can recall these. Which
Are you confusing with the literature written by Jains as Jain literature, or you're talking about Jain religious literature?
So sorry, sir. Probably I'm not getting the question.
My question is simple. When we talk about Bhakti movement, Bhakti Kal, it is only the Hindu literature that is primarily taken in fold of Hindi literature in the Bhakti Kal. While the Jain literature, the Bauddha literature and the Islamic literature is generally not taken into account when we talk about Bhakti movement. तो भक्ति काल में इन्हें शामिल क्यों नहीं किया जाता? अगर धार्मिक साहित्य लिया ही जाना है, if you are willing to take for example the Hindu literature, and why not the Jain literature, Bauddha literature and the literature of Muslims?
Yes, sir. Sir, basically sir, may I please use Hindi while answering the Hindi specific question, sir? Sir, जब भी हम हिंदी साहित्य में जो साहित्य को चुनने की बात आती है सर, तो जो वहाँ जो आलोचक हैं सर, उनके बीच में भी मतभेद है. जैसे सर आचार्य शुक्ल जी जो हैं, वो मानते हैं कि जैन साहित्य, सिद्धनाथ साहित्य जो है, उनको साहित्य में सम्मिलित नहीं किया जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि उनकी प्रवृत्ति जो है केवल उपदेशात्मक है. परंतु वहीं सर जैसे जो दूसरे आलोचक हैं, आचार्य हजारी प्रसाद द्विवेदी जो हैं, वो मानते हैं कि ये जो जैन साहित्य है और जो सिद्धनाथ साहित्य है, उनको सर जो है हिंदी साहित्य की श्रेणी में शामिल किया जाना चाहिए सर. सर भक्ति काल में तो शामिल करने से एक दिक्कत ये है कि उनका समय जो है वो आदिकाल का है सर. सो
इसका मतलब है कि भक्ति काल के पीरियड में पूरा जैन समाज शांत बैठा था, साहित्य लिख ही नहीं रहा.
नहीं सर, मतलब मैं ये कहना चाह रही हूँ कि सर
आप केवल आदिकाल की में जो सूची दी गई है उसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन भक्ति काल में भी जैन साहित्य लिखा जा रहा था,
सॉरी
बौद्ध साहित्य लिखा जा रहा था, इस्लामिक साहित्य लिखा जा रहा था.
सॉरी सर, मेरा कहने का मतलब वही था कि मतलब मैं ये कहना चाह रही थी सर कि आदिकाल से ही जो आदिकाल के समय से ही जो जैन साहित्य और जो सिद्धनाथ साहित्य सर, मेरा पर्सनल ऐसा मानना है कि सर इन्हें शामिल किया जाना चाहिए. और जो सभी साहित्यों को जिनका कहीं भी योगदान हिंदी भाषा में रहा है और हिंदी साहित्य से जुड़ाव जिनका है सर, मैं उनके सर
शामिल किए जाने के फेवर में
पक्ष में हूँ.
अंडरस्टैंड. आपके पाठ्यक्रम में जब आपने गोदान को पढ़ा होगा तो आपने देखा होगा कि प्रेमचंद सरोज और मालती का जो स्त्रीवादी रूप है उसे लेकर असहज है, जबकि गोविंदी को लेकर वो ग्लैमराइज करते हैं और धनिया को लेकर वो खुश हैं. प्रेमचंद में ये स्त्री विरोधी रूप क्यों दिखाई देता है? मेरा प्रश्न समझ पाए?
जी सर. सर हमारा जब सर जो प्रेमचंद का जो समय है सर, या फिर कोई भी साहित्यकार आप कहिए, तो सर मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि किसी भी साहित्यकार के कुछ पर्सनल बिलीव भी होते हैं सर. और जो वो जैसे प्रेमचंद सर नारी का आदर्शवाद किस में ढूंढते हैं, तो सर प्रेमचंद जो है वो नारी का आदर्शवाद जो है गोविंदी बाई में ढूंढते हैं सर. तो उन्हें भी कहीं ना कहीं लगता है कि शायद से ये
who's happy taking atrocities from the husband and not actually countering that. That's what Govindi is, right?
सर पर अगर सर प्रेमचंद जी को देखें और या उनके समय के साहित्यकारों को देखें सर, तो उन्होंने कहीं ना कहीं ये स्त्री का जो माता रूप है, जो बलिदान और त्याग वाला रूप है सर, उसको ग्लोरीफाई करने में ज़्यादा रुचि दिखाई है सर. जैसे अगर आप जयशंकर प्रसाद जी के नाटक भी लेते हैं और भी सारी चीज़ें लेते हैं, तो सर मैं कहूँगी कि सर उस समय की जो चीज़ें चल रही होती हैं सर, अभी जो नारीवादी आंदोलन और अभी हम जिन महिलाओं अधिकारों की बात करते हैं सर, तो उस समय पे वो चीज़ें उतनी प्रखर रूप में नहीं थी सर. तो कहीं ना कहीं प्रेमचंद जी भी जो थे वो इसी बात से, मतलब उनको भी शायद से ये लगता था कि अगर वो इतने मुखर रूप में और इतने तेज रूप में आएंगे तो शायद तक से परिवार की जो मूल्य हैं वो शायद सबसे कुछ आहत हो सकते हैं सर. मेरा ऐसा मानना है.
Coming from Madhya Pradesh,
yes, sir.
if you look at the Hindi literature, Hindi language primarily, we can see that Maithili is given the 8th schedule status, while the Brij Bhasha is not given, despite having a vaster literature available with Brij Bhasha. Do you believe this idea of giving dialects the status of 8th schedule and leaving some in the process is an anomaly which should be corrected?
Sir, I believe that actually when we compare there are certain criteria. Braj Bhasha is a dialect.
Definitely has a vast language, literature, was given for many centuries. It was the primary language of the literature.
Yes, sir, it is. But sir, we have to see that that Maithili is somewhere different from Hindi in many aspects. Sir, it is having its own script, that is Kathi script or Tirut script, and the literature and its grammar is actually a bit different from Hindi. So it becomes the base for giving it altogether a status of language firstly, and secondly, sir, Braj Bhasha is not counted as language; it is counted as dialect only, sir. So I believe that. For example, if we come to Braj Bhasha only, sir, then it is not having its script of its own. It is written in Devanagari script only, and the grammar of Braj Bhasha is more or less assimilated with the grammar of. Sir, it is having its own, I know, but sir, we have largely taken, while we were going for Khadi Boli, sir, we have taken some of the primary contribution from Braj Bhasha, from Awadhi, these kind of things. So this is the basis for
Fine,
this,
thank you. Sir.
Upma,
Yes, sir.
moving to international affairs, see countries like Finland and Sweden, they are willing to join the NATO now, right?
Yes.
So is it good for Russia?
So it is not good for Russia since Russia is having. Russia will not want any country to join NATO, because the more member will join NATO, the border of the Russia will be more challenging, sir. And Russia is not a member of NATO but against it. So
what is the approach the Russia has adopted towards it?
Russia has tried to convince other countries through its powers, like not supplying the gas, not supplying its resources, and putting some these kind of section, as far as my knowledge is concerned.
Okay. What are the effects or implications of Russia-Ukraine war on Indian economy?
Yes, sir. Sir, since India is a open economy, sir, so each and every phenomena across the world affect India at large. If we look at some of the specifics, sir, then fertilizer, wheat, these are the basic things we get import from Russia and Ukraine, for that matter, sir. So the persistent rise in the food inflation is one of the consequence of Russia-Ukraine, I can think of as of now.
Okay, my last question. What do you know about effective revenue deficit?
Sir, can I take a guess?
Sure.
Sir, revenue deficit. Sir, basic revenue deficit minus the expenditure which anyhow spent on building any asset is effective revenue deficit, if I'm right.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, while going through your service preferences,
yes,
you kept police service and foreign service quite low in your preference. Any specific reason for that?
Ma'am, as far as the services are concerned, ma'am, for foreign services, I am not willing to work outside India.
Okay, why so?
Ma'am, I want to work in India only.
Okay, you don't think international politics, geopolitics is of any use?
Each and every services is great in its own sphere. IAS is as great as other services, ma'am, I believe. But my personal interest includes my personal interest and my personal things includes working in the India itself.
Okay, then why not police service then?
Ma'am, I have gone through the profile, or I have checked the services of members, and I find some revenue services more suited to me. And
why anything related to gender? You think as a woman you would not be able to handle tough service like IPS, if I may say so?
No, ma'am. Honestly, it is not about gender. Many of my friends who are male have not opted for IPS officer, IPS services. So there is no role of gender. It is my personal preference, as it is asked by UPSC. Otherwise, I would be happy to serve in any other.
Okay, no problem. Can you differentiate between Upma Alankar and Rupak Alankar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, Upma Alankar is basically when you compare two things, or you say this is like this, then this is Upma Alankar, ma'am. And Rupak means that you are saying that they are same. Then
Okay.
This is.
And can you give me one example of each from your course? Any example from any poet, any writer?
Okay, ma'am. So, Upma Alankar, one of Upma Alankar is तेज तम अंश पर कान जिम कंश पर त्यों मलेक्ष वंश पर शेष शिवराज हैं. तो तेज तम.
These are lines written by whom?
Ma'am, it is written by Bhushan from Riti Kala, ma'am.
Okay.
Kavivat Bhushan from Riti Kala.
Okay.
So it is basically a comparison like कि तेज तम अंश पर, like the light on darkness. कान जिम कंश पर, like the Lord Krishna on Kans. त्यों मलेक्ष वंश पर. So basically, the idea is that on Mughal ruler, Shivraj is same as the others.
Okay, and one example of Rupak?
Rupak, I can think as of now, ma'am. Ma'am, I cannot recall.
Okay, so what kind of literature is being written in Hindi today? And if I talk about contemporary writing, what kind of novels, what kind of stories? Do we have a theme there? What are you aware of some of the contemporary writers?
Yes, ma'am. The contemporary Hindi literature is on the basis of when it comes to content, it is written on. Ma'am, can I please use Hindi for Hindi specification? मैम, अगर संवेदना की बात करो तो हिंदी में जो अभी जो हिंदी की वर्तमान समस्याएं, जैसे शहर की जो समस्याएं हैं छात्रों के ऊपर, तो इस किस्म का लिटरेचर जो है वो देखा जा रहा है. और अगर भाषा के स्तर पर हम बात करें तो जो क्लिष्ट हिंदी जो होती है, जो पूरी हिंदी जो है, उस हिंदी से बच के हम लोग नई वाली हिंदी एक प्रचलन में है मैम, जिसमें हम जिस भाषा में अभी हम बात करते हैं, हिंदी और अंग्रेजी के मिक्स शब्द मिला जुला के, सर इस भाषा का मैम प्रचलन.
और फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट, आर यू अवेयर ऑफ फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट?
यस मैम.
So MP government has enforced all the provisions of Forest Rights Act completely or partially?
Sorry ma'am, I have to read about it too.
Okay. So what kind of rights have been given under the Forest Rights Act?
The rights are given, they are heritable but not transferable, ma'am, as far as I can. Forest right.
Heritable but not transferable.
I mean, yes ma'am, you can
property rights, are you talking about pattas? What is Forest Rights Act? What is it all about?
Yes ma'am, the Forest Right Act is basically the idea that the tribals in the for the management of forest, ma'am, since tribals,
so some individual rights have been given, some community rights have been given.
Yes ma'am.
So what are the individual rights, what are the community rights?
Sorry ma'am, I think I'm not exactly aware of the exact provision to tell you better.
Okay, and what is the 6th schedule of Indian Constitution?
Ma'am, 6th schedule is for the administration of tribal areas in 4 states, that is Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram, ma'am. So
okay, so what is different in 6 schedule areas? What is specific to 6 schedule areas? What kind of governance structures do we see there?
Sorry ma'am, I don't think.
Okay, and if I ask the same about the 5th schedule areas?
Ma'am, the thing I am aware is that ma'am, both these 5th and 6th schedule areas were particularly for the autonomy of tribals to govern themselves better in their areas.
So are you aware of some of the provisions of 5th schedule?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm sorry.
Okay, my last question to you. If I ask you to define your vision for 21st century women, so if you briefly the concept of modern women, what all we would like to have this modern woman to be?
Can I use a line for it?
Yes, you can use any phrase, any line in any way.
कोमल है, कमजोर नहीं, शक्ति का नाम ही नारी है, जग को जीवन देने वाले, मौत भी तुझसे हारी.
Okay, so you want to see her in a traditional role as captured by the literature since ages?
No ma'am, it's a kamzor nahi, so it's a strong enough to keep her capabilities or her priorities.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Upma, this World Happiness Report 2021 is out.
Okay.
As per this report, India ranked 139 out of 149, almost at the bottom of the index for the 7th consecutive years. Why are Indians so unhappy?
Sir, I think the report considered various things, the social indicators and other gender related indicators. So I think one of those criteria, one of the reasons I can think is that the issues of unemployment, the issues of gender inequality makes the pupil discontent or unhappy, sir.
So you are a student of literature. Tell me, can happiness be measured?
Sir, it is very difficult to measure the happiness because this is something from within oneself and not a quantitative thing. But sir, we can think of some common thing that if, for example, there are certain necessities of someone, food, shelter, clothing, etc. Sir. So if a person, so there is no guarantee if person is having all of these things would be happy. But sir, it is likely that if person is suffering from the from scarcity of such thing, then it is very difficult for a person to be happy. So it is very difficult to measure happiness, but the outer parameters which which the substantial life of a person is based on, those I believe we can measure, but not happiness we can say.
What do you mean by glass ceiling?
So glass ceiling is a concept where the women are not given the top the key top position because there are multiple reasons. Because firstly, they are not seen as the leader, because women are always supposed to be subordinate to men, sir. So this is the basic, that we do give them the position of second or third rank, but not the first one. So this is glass ceiling.
So what women can do to break this glass ceiling?
So first of all, I believe that women have to come outside from themselves only to be to advocate to be the advocate of their rights. Of firstly, and secondly, sir, the awareness, the community support, and also, sir, creating awareness, like sir, bringing the norms of patriarchy. So these are the basic things one have to do to break the ceiling.
Okay, thank you very much, Upma. Your interview is over. You may go now.
Thank you. May I come in, sir?
Come. Sit, Upma.
Thank you, sir.
Remove your mask.
Yes.
So this is going to be your first interview at the UPSC, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It is my first interview.
First interview. Okay. So what is your assessment of your performance, and how was your experience here?
Sir, I think I was not good enough with my answers. I mean, सर ने भी पूछा था बहुत सारा वो मिनिस्ट्रीज, मतलब मैंने पढ़ा था पर अच्छे से रिवाइज करके
You see, your interview is on 24th.
Yes, sir.
Don't get disheartened.
Yes.
Maintain high level of energy, high spirit.
Yes.
And don't think that I don't know this, I don't know that, I have spoiled my interview. If you start brooding over all those uncertainties, it will affect your performance.
Yes.
Isn't it? Now time is very less. You can't be reading everything in 3 days time or 5 days time, isn't it?
Yes.
Whatever you know, whatever you have understood, that's enough.
Yes.
Based on that, now because you are a very good candidate, that is why I am telling you, very honest person, a young girl with an honesty of purpose, a positive body language, a smiling face. All these qualities are there with you, and the UPSC will like to induct such young persons in the bureaucracy. So those are all positive points for you. Now coming to, because you are a young, at times you speak more than what is required.
Okay, sir.
Isn't it? So what happens when a question is asked, try to be very specific.
Okay, sir.
While answering, very specific, to the point, precise. No digression from the central thing, isn't it? So anything like very first question, that rural India must progress for the country to progress. So you spoke very well, but if you could list out some issues in your mind collect your thoughts, then speak, then it would be a much better presentation. So health is a problem, education is a problem, infrastructure is a problem. Instead of saying health and mixing with other things, first prioritize. So 4 problems are there, whatever you remember. Infrastructure is a problem, health is a problem, infra is a problem. Infra, you have said, infra does not include only road, it includes power, it includes so many other things like that. So first broad points you have narrated, and then you come to the second. You said now health point, this is the issue. Then if somebody asks you to stop, you stop there, isn't it? But so that you don't miss out the broad issues, isn't it?
Yes.
And then you go into details. So it should be structured that way. So because you have the knowledge, you know everything, then listening ability thoda improve karo. In the sense, try to understand what has been told. Be attentive, be very careful what has been spoken, because there you will not be given opportunity again and again.
Yes, sir.
So try to listen carefully. If you are able to improve that ability of listening, which you have, but I think out of sheer anxiety, probably because we could see you anxious also. So don't be so anxious, don't be so nervous. Nervous I can understand, going to face, but there is a positive side. You have come to this far, isn't it? First hurdle you have cleared, second major hurdle you have cleared, you are almost at the threshold of success. So grab this opportunity by forelock, isn't it?
Yes.
And you are a good young candidate. Structure your answers properly. You are from Madhya Pradesh, tribal issues, try to
Yes,
get over the tribal issues, and then try to be very, very crisp in your answers. Don't go for long answers, because the more you speak, the more problems you will invite for yourself. The less you speak and to the point, then it will be more effective. So that is the key to success,
okay, sir.
isn't it? And then if a counter question is asked, further elaborate on that. But initially itself, whatever you have learned, you should not speak out. You should not be in hurry to spill out everything. तुमने बताया, suppose he asked you, he gave you a wide choice. Whatever government of India has been doing, you tell me one scheme which you like the most. Then you think of one scheme which you really know ins and outs of that scheme. So just prepare 1 or 2 schemes and then say, because what happens once you said Ayushman Bharat, so many counter questions will come. You should be
Yes.
prepared to answer those questions. Then you should not be faltering on that, isn't it?
Yes.
So just 1 or 2 area you prepare, and because you are for a woman candidate, so gender based questions likely to be asked.
Yes, sir.
So that you should, you know already, so not an issue. But bottom line is, be happy, be confident, speak to yourself, convince yourself that all is well, isn't it? And you will do well. So all the best.
So there was queries from my side. Sir, जैसे हिंदी specific जो questions है,
Hindi specific, I don't know. My impression is, I don't know how far is correct. If I ask you a question in Hindi, then you are supposed to be answering in Hindi. If I ask you a question on Hindi literature also in English, normally it should be, because you have opted for English medium for the interview, so why should you take the liberty of talking in Hindi? This shows your weakness. This is what I personally feel. Unless I ask you, then do you have any problem in explaining in English?
सर पर ऐसे है ना कि अब जैसे उसमें कुछ की टर्म्स है, तो अभी अगर मैं करने बैठूंगी तो सारे मतलब जैसे सर अगर स्वच्छंदता बाद में मुझे कोई चीज़ बोलनी है तो उनका हर चीज़ का इंग्लिश वर्ड लेके आना वो कई बार बराबर
तुमसे पूछता है, then you can say sir with the permission of the chair, you can seek the permission, then yes sir I want to explain it in Hindi. If you feel comfortable, seek, and if the chair says okay, go ahead. ठीक है, चलो, all the best.
Thank you.